I'll just say that's a somewhat questionable design decision on the part of Paradox. I'm not really convinced that you should have to spend that much for... You know what? I don't even have enough... Okay, so I don't get this. It said that I had 80... Oh, there's the rest of the votes. Sadly, I just lost my awesome Spy Master. Yeah, so regrettably, I'm probably going to wind up losing my retinue. The good news, though, is I don't need to worry about invasions on the island once I get this stack there. I'm going to move them over here just because this fight's going to be over before they disembark. So as long as there are survivors, they'll be able to help out. It looks like all my advisors are dropping like flies. Can finally raise tolerance. So we're fairly good as far as technology is concerned. There's a side of me that wants to put the points into siege equipment, but I think it would be better if I improve the troops first. It'd be cool to get sieges over with quickly, but I think I really need to worry about my troops' ability to I don't know, get their job done. So there's the 10 piety for fulfilling the ambition to get married. Now, I could get 124 gold just for getting married, but what I'm going to do instead is get the 300 prestige. And that's mostly just because prestige gold's not going to get me the... it's not going to get me a score in the game. 124 isn't that much compared to what I can... Like, there are not a lot of things that will get me 300 prestige in exchange for 100 gold. A tournament will not get me that much prestige, and it costs more. So, in this case, I'm going to start by having a son. It's just because, you know, it's 17-year-old and 16-year-old, so fairly good ages. He's got the lustful trait. It's not bad to have a lot of kids. That'll just give me more people that I can give titles to once I start conquering Spain. Speaking of conquest, eventually this... Yeah, there we go. And we pretty much managed to turn the... With that one battle, we managed to turn the tide in our favor, so... This is interesting that they are... that the Teutonic Order... I'm not quite sure how this works, to be honest. Ah, damn it. Aquitaine took the territories I was looking for. So I could try going to war with Aquitaine right away. I think it'd be better for me to play it a little bit safer. But I definitely need to make my move on Spain soon, otherwise there's not going to be anything left to conquer. But one step at a time, we'll finish our conquest of Iceland. The peasants of Northumbria are slowly starting to respect my rule again. I should never let my treasury go negative. Yeah. Still not investing in siege equipment. Alright. So you've got a prince who's Midas touch as well. He'll probably be the one to inherit Iceland, so... You know what? I think I will go for this merit. I don't really gain anything from it, but German ally seems pretty good to have in this situation. Not the best ally to have, but it's one that I can live with. Not so sure why I'm losing war score so quickly. Oh, it's because they control it. That will end soon. So what I do here is I just split it in half so I can keep the siege underway, and this will give me some war score just by punching his army. My confidence has grown and I don't feel so awkward anymore. My stuttering has disappeared and I lose the trait shy. So we've basically taken over the island. I need to make sure that the garrison that I leave can actually handle another fairly sizable invasion from the owner, or soon to be former owner. But what I am going to do next is start fabricating a claim in Spain. The claims in Spain lay mainly on the plain. Alright. One last faction leader to take care of. And then it's going to run into the arms of the next army. So I'll keep these guys here for now. I want to see what I have left over from the retinue. As long as I have, let's say, 3,000 troops, I'll keep them on the island. Anything less than that, I run the risk of having the same problem. Your commanding presence on the battlefield was felt during the recent victory by friends and foes alike. You bolstered the spirits of the men when it was needed the most, and you personally led the final charge that broke the back of the enemy army. Songs will be sung of this day. Gain 100 prestige. So we get a bit of an idea in terms of what their armies are made of. Oh, actually, it looks like they're just camping out, so we'll do them the favor and free up some space. Looks like I'm still losing money on this, actually, so... I don't feel too well. Something is wrong with me. I'm burning up with fever. My nose is running. My head feels as if someone is banging something hard against it. Please kill me. Alright, so we just move them right back. So it looks like it's under 2,000 that they are throwing into the fight. So what I'm going to do here is disband one of these two armies. And what that will do is it'll give me... it'll basically allow me to call them again on the main island. I am still going to need to basically get a ship to move my retinue back. Got a tithe of 226 gold, which is good. But the big reason why I want to disband as soon as I can... Oh... Your Krat chaplain comes to you and suggests that the family relic could be used to help heal your pains. A night of prayers and the presence of this holy item might bring the Lord's attention to you and drive the sickness out. Our holy relic will surely be my salvation. 20% chance that he loses ill and gains the trait zealous, or bring a healer but keep those old bones away from me. 20% chance he loses the trait ill. And okay, well, I can gain cynical or zealous. Let's get the zealous. The cough is killing me. It started with chest pain and shortness of breath, and then I started coughing up phlegm and now blood. Okay. So I'm going to put some money into siege equipment. The reason for that is I am expelling the Jewry. Losing prestige, gaining 200 gold, but I really don't want to have to deal with another emperor dying too early. The drawback is I could be paying for... I could wind up paying for this through losses in technology. Oops, don't want to do that. Let's... Alright. I'll wait till the enemy's gone, then I'll disband. So the reason I did that was there's a chance that this guy dies. It happened to the last guy, and the idea was I didn't want to pay back the loan. You can skip paying back the loan by expelling the Jewry, but the drawback of that is that you potentially lose technology points. So ideally you do that when they're old and near death, but you can never really predict when somebody's going to die. So in this case here, on the chance that he dies, I thought I'd get that out of the way. This is probably going to wind up being a relatively costly decision, but I don't know, right? That's the whole point behind this thing. Hopefully... Oh, well, he just lost the trait pneumo. Well, great. So basically, for the rest of this guy's reign, there's a possibility that I'm going to get... No, not a problem. If you're still around, Kite, thank you very much for stopping by the stream. I just read your tweet. If you're not on the stream, I will be sure to mention that to you at another time. Yeah, so basically I've probably got about 40 years of a good chance that I'm going to lose 50 tech points. Movement speed is actually pretty good. I think I'll do organization, actually. I like the idea of being able to move faster. Yeah, more tithe money. And I gained the trait Brave for fighting. So we're at 81% as at a war score, and it looks like there's more ships coming in. It's basically they're going to feed me more troops to improve that war score with, I think. I also have the territory that we're fighting over, which is going to translate to a sort of a tick upward on the war score just by me hanging around. I don't think 700 troops is really going to push the scales that far in my favor, but honestly, anything to get this war over with quickly is good. Noble has distinguished himself in battle. Perhaps I can make use of him. So yeah, we're at 93 war score now. They've got 114 troops, which are desperately going to try and reclaim the territory. But instead, we'll just drive them into the... No, still 3% away. But fortunately, they just gave us 800 troops with which to... Nope, my wife is pregnant. Fortunately, they just gave us 800 troops with which we can get our remaining 2%. This is one of the nice things about taking islands. Well, I mean, as long as you're the one with the troop advantage, is that if they try to land, they have a morale penalty. And as long as you have a fairly strong presence on there, it's very easy to just wipe out enemy forces and move your war score up. So we'll enforce the demands, get 100 prestige, and claim island. So what we'll do here is we'll drop the army levies. We will raise the ships, and fortunately that's just enough for us to be able to put these troops in, so we'll head to the real island. And in the meantime, my half-brother is going to become the Duke of Iceland. And now, I could have sustained the territories. What I couldn't have sustained would be the extra duchy. Fortunately, I had somebody who is readily available to give that territory to. Ideally, my next, I'll have another son, and he'll be able to take the Spanish territories. But we're probably not going to do any Spanish conquest tonight, so we can worry about that in the future. And get my retinue back on land. So there's a couple things that I will do. Well, okay. First things first, we've got Spymaster dealing with possible rebellion. Appoint the only person suitable to be a bishop. Alright, as far as plots are concerned, let's eliminate anything that... Again, the key behind these is just to make sure that I don't have I don't want non-family members taking titles from family members. I also don't want family members taking titles from each other, because that makes people who are more powerful than I want them to be. So there's two halves to that equation. Or two sides, rather. I don't mind ransoming these guys at all. Nope, he's already considering an offer, so let's just unpause and let it work through. So no point in releasing this guy because he's an enemy. Maybe release this guy, but he really hates me, so... Evil tyrant. Yeah, he can just rot in my dungeon. So I've got my technology here. In reality, I'm probably going to wind up losing all of it. Don't really need to worry about changing any of the laws, although I could if I wanted. I'm sure all that work I put into instituting Primogen, sure, I just definitely want to go to Gavelkind again, right? Let's make good on my promises about infrastructure. So still don't have the technology for Castletown. The priorities I'm going to do are my personal holdings in my Domain first, and then I'll deal with things like towns. So castle fortifications, nope. Castle walls will give me tax income. Okay, so the best I've got right now are decimal 40 for tax income. Shipyard, nope. Okay, well, those are actually pretty inexpensive, so we'll start with those. Again, probably smarter to save for the university, just because I always have so much trouble getting enough money for it, but anything that improves my ability to make money is probably worth it. So now that I've checked all of the forts that or castles or whatever they are that I own, I'm going to move on to cities that I own. So it looks like I didn't authorize a militia training ground. No matter. All right. Again, we've maxed out what we've got there, so let's head south, see what we've got in the city. Not enough technology. Not enough technology. Not enough technology. I'm sensing a pattern, so maybe we will wind up saving for the... Maybe we'll wind up saving for the university after all. I still don't want to put that much into my bishoprics, just because I really don't have the resources available. You know what? What I should do is I should steal this castle from this guy, actually. I mean, everybody hates me for doing this, but oh well. Man, this guy mismanaged that. Alright. Well, we'll build a castle town first. And we don't have the tech for walls. So yeah, I guess it's universities that I wind up building next. Okay. So this is pretty much it for me tonight. We've got a good 4 hours in. I noticed that that's roughly around the time that my reading starts to suffer a bit, and sure enough, I've been stumbling over my words. We managed to accomplish the one stated gold a couple of generations a bit later than we had intended, but we've added Iceland to Britannia. So now we are pretty much in expansion mode. It's a little bit unfortunate that the Crusade took so much territory. And more importantly, I think it's worse that Aquitaine controls this. But it does sort of give some natural progression as well. Once I've claimed whatever I can of Spain, it's not going to be that hard to take this area, and there's only one spot where I need to fight them. Basically, I'm not too mad about having to make enemies with Aquitaine. In fact, it might be a good idea to just take a look and see. So they've got 12,000 troops, and Italy has 21. So Italy is actually the bigger threat to me. I think the way that we will wind up taking Spain is, first of all, stage the Reconquista a couple of centuries earlier than anticipated. We'll see if there's anything I can do about the territories held by the Teutonic Order. It interests me that they've started relinquishing some of these. Once we've kind of got the low-hanging fruit, I think fighting Aquitaine here is the best first start. They'll kind of come pouring in from these two areas, but nothing I don't think I can't handle. The big decision then is whether I try and take Aquitaine here or whether I try and take Italy here. I think the way to go with this is to try and take Italy. And what I do is I declare a war early, and I just funnel my troops in like this so that I have a big 22,000 troop force ready to meet them. It's going to be a really expensive war, so I want to make sure I have a lot of gold set aside for it. And I think what would be good too is to wait for Italy to get embroiled in some other conflict so that I can take advantage of their troops being occupied. Currently, the King of Italy is demon-possessed. Nice. So, I'm not 100% sure how I answer the Italian question, to be completely honest. I probably want to avoid that conflict as much as I can. The problem is that if I leave it... Suppose that I don't take any of Italy. What happens in that case is... Once I've taken Aquitaine, once I've taken all these areas here, there are 3 different fronts in which they can attack me. So I think given the fact that we're of equal strength right now, what I want to do is have a somewhat early engagement to at least push them back. And that way I can sort of engage them on my own terms later on. But I am getting ahead of myself. The first job is to get as much of Spain as I can, and we'll see what the world looks like after that. So... that's it for me tonight. We got a little bit of a preview of how we're going to handle it tomorrow. I wanted to take a minute to thank everybody for stopping by. This was a lot of fun to do. I'm really glad we got back into Crusader Kings. We'll definitely do some more of it. Special thanks to Zentarim for stopping by and talking about Crusader Kings 2 stuff, as well as Kite. I was really happy that we got a chance to see him here, and I mean everybody stopped by. Redivend is always nice to see. Torrigen, happy to see. Freighter 5, I've got, and I apologize, I know I'm not going to get every name down because I don't. We got a few hosts from Jesse Quill, which is always nice to see as well. But just overall, especially because Monday wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be, I was happy to get a good Crusader King stream in and have some people talk. Some other things that happened today, we got another follower, so 5 away from the first 100 on this stream, and we got Twitch alerts up. I wanted to first of all say thank you to the people who encouraged me to get a donation option. And again, the idea here is that it's not something that I'm going to solicit, but I am thankful that people have asked me to at least have the option. A little bit more important than the donation button, in my opinion, is that we finally have some recognition for people who are following. We've got some animated GIFs, and we're starting to pretend like we're a real stream. So thank you to everybody who gave me some help in testing those out. I know the kind of the delay isn't quite working out. But I don't know. We'll find a way of getting it sorted out on my own time. If I can ask a couple more minutes of your patience, what I'd like to do is pass along the love and host somebody. I believe Black Dahlia is still streaming tonight. He is a great friend of this stream's and is a fun caster to watch. So let me just double check that he's still on there, and I'll pass you off to another streamer who I think is worth your time. He is. All right. Let me just take a minute here. All right, so definitely not Crusader Kings 2. So if it's something that you're looking for, I will say Black Dahlia won't be giving that. He's not actually a big fan of the series. I definitely recommend staying by, checking it out and seeing if it's worth your time. If it's not your thing, or if you want to look for another Crusader Kings stream as well, that's fine too. Again, thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you again. And best of luck finding your next bit of entertainment. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.